All right, hello everyone. This is Christian, and this is another real estate talk where I talk to professionals, friends in the real estate lending industry to give you a different perspective of what's going on real estate, right? And with the people in the industry. People like, please, like and share if you have an opportunity. I will really appreciate that, and we're going to be on Facebook, YouTube, and LinkedIn right now. So hopefully everything goes up to plan. So um, excited today to get back in online with you guys and raise, and kind of talk a little bit about how to get properties off the market. Obviously, market has been changing a lot lately, and a lot of the real estate investors are having a lot more difficulty to find deals off the market. So today I'm sharing this live with one of my friends, my real estate friends, Pierre Mason, which we're going to be talking about a little bit about how to find properties off the market. Okay, so with enough saying, I'm going to bring Pierre over and we'll get started.
What's up, everybody? How
What's
you
up,
guys
Pierre? How
doing?
are you?
Good. This is Pierre Mason with the Dior Realty Group, up and coming real estate brokerage. That we have some really exciting things going on right now. My sponsoring broker, her name is Tawana Dennis, and she's a force to be reckoned with, guys. In terms of finding off-market properties, properties that still have a lot of meat on the bone in the seller's market.
Right.
Um, we have your conduit to all things real estate here for, our fix and flippers, wholesalers, Airbnb, arbitrage people, you name it, we have it. So we're going to dive a little bit deep into that and how we can go about getting you guys these off market properties in hand.
Absolutely, absolutely. Thank you, man, for joining me today. And the idea today is going to be to kind of give some of our investors out there, friends, and the people that we're able to reach, different ideas on how to find deals off market, right? And obviously, um, you're a broker, a real estate broker here in Chicago. Tell us a little bit about what you have seen and the changes lately on the market. The difficulties that the investors have now to find deals, right, to fix and flip or even rentals.
Well, Christian, that's a great question because I know that's a pain point for a lot of realtors right now,
Mhm.
a lot of buyers. If they have FHA, VA loans, it's a little bit more difficult than we're traditionally used to seeing. So what I'm seeing right now in this seller's market is there are multiple offers on anything that's priced correctly. So what's
Right.
happening is it's like, well, hey, if we can create a bidding war with it being priced correctly, let's see what we can do with things being a little bit overpriced, if
Right.
that makes sense. So what you see in situations are multiple offers. If you try to get feedback from a realtor, they always have the rebuttal of highest and best,
Right.
highest and best. So that leaves a lot of room of interpretation. And sometimes we find clients that are paying a little bit more than they should, to be honest with you guys. Paying a
Right.
little bit more
To get a
than they should.
profit, right? To get a
Yeah.
deal.
Same thing with rentals. Um, we're seeing just, for lack of better terms, just really regular rentals, asking for three times the income, 600 plus credit score. And when you frame it appropriately, it's like, well, if I had all of that criteria, I would be buying, right?
Right.
I would be FHA eligible for the 3.5%, et cetera. So it's a circus out here, for lack of a better term. If you
Well,
have a Section 8 buyer that's looking to, get a rental, that's,
mhm.
it's really tough out here. So
Right.
the solution, in my opinion, Christian,
Mhm.
is finding properties that are priced um, efficiently, effectively, that we can go in and add some love to and create that equity and keep ourselves from being priced out of the market, if you will.
Right. Well, absolutely. I mean, obviously, you're a real estate broker and also a real estate investor. I've been investing for some time as well, and we know for sure that there's nothing like off-market deals, right? So being able to get access to those off-market deals are the best way to buy and the best way to invest in real estate, right? Because
Right.
obviously going into the market, trying to get properties off the MLS, um, even with the best realtors out there like you, man. I mean, it's not easy right now to get them because obviously they're in the public domain, right? They're in the MLS, so everybody can see it, and the competition is fierce, right? And we're not only competing with other small investors, but we're also competing with bigger companies that are looking uh, to buy investment properties too, right?
That's a great point, Christian. That's a great point. Um, and and I guess I would have a question for you, because what I'm experiencing from the real estate investor standpoint slash realtor standpoint is we have a lot of people that are coming from other states, other countries, looking to
Right.
buy here in the Chicagoland area,
Mhm.
and these guys have some pretty deep pockets. So in your experience, Christian, have you seen a shift in people that just buying those one properties at a time, or are you seeing more people go out and look for blanket mortgages where they can buy several properties? Like, what is your experience? Because I'm seeing that a lot. I'm having investors come to me that's looking for. Not only is it hard to find you one property, but when you have guys that's looking for four or five at the same time.
Right. Well, yes, because I mean, now we've been on this market per se. Uh, I've been in the side of the real estate investing for the last 12 years, right? And since I came into this side of real estate, um, the market for real estate investor has grown so much, and there is people now that had the same experience than me, and even more time than that. And yeah, those guys are the guys that are being around for a while. Now they're not just looking for the one deal. They're looking for rentals. They're looking for multi units. They're looking for multiple single family home packages, right? Things that they can buy in bulk if possible. And that is something that I've seen also lately because um, us helping those investors with financing, we've been able to finance those deals for them. When we do portfolio loans, right? Portfolio loans are uh, actually specifically for that, right? Where they can buy two or more properties and put them in just one loan, right? So then, I have a guy now that just bought 25 units with 25 single family homes into one loan. Um, and that obviously, from the point of view of accounting, is a lot easier, right, to manage than managing 25 different loans, right? So, and accessing to that type of loan is a lot easier than it used to be before, right? So that's why I think that you can see a lot more people now looking for not only one property, but maybe two, three, or four, or five, because it's a lot easier to get financing for that type of property,
Absolutely,
right?
absolutely.
So, but now the problem comes that is they're not being able to find those deals, right? So that's why we're getting access to um, uh, trying to get access to obviously off market deals is a different thing when you're not used to it, right? A lot of real estate investors they still hang from the MLS because it's easy, right? You can see it on your phone every day. As soon as something comes up, your phone is going to let you know if you have any of those apps like I don't know, Zillow or Redfin or any of those uh, apps that that shows you MLS properties, right? But the thing is that once it hits the MLS, the price is going to be higher, and 10,000 other people are going to be looking at it. One thing that the investor had to understand is that um, we're not the only ones seeing these properties here in the U.S. We have people from outside the country looking at properties on our markets, right?
Absolutely.
Buying properties, wholesaling properties. So that's the thing. So, and that's what a lot of the our buyers here don't understand, that the the competition is not only just guys from here, from the U.S. We have
Absolutely.
I've seen buyers from uh, um, Latin America, right? Mexico and Colombia. A lot of people from Colombia looking at properties, and then people from Europe too, right? And some of those guys are looking to maybe wholesale a deal, but the thing is that they're doing marketing every day on our markets, and that's the competition that now the regular or the new real estate investor is having such a hard time finding deals, because we have all these guys outside the country working remotely, and marketing to those sellers too. So the thing is that I think that one of the good things is finding those deals off the market is getting back out there networking again with wholesalers, right? Wholesalers that and also brokers, real estate brokers out there that are going to be they're looking for sellers all the time, right? You guys are always marketing for sellers to put new listings out there. But at the same time, don't real estate investors, I think, don't have to think that just because you go to a realtor and you tell them, "Hey, send me any deals you get," that they're automatically going to happen. Obviously, you gotta um, create that relationship, right, with that broker, with that wholesaler, so that way you can get first in line, right?
Right.
Otherwise, it's gonna be another one on the list, right? So,
Exactly. Exactly.
so
Exactly. I mean, case in point, um, yesterday I went out with one of our buyers. Cool. I call them the dynamic duo.
okay,
The Davises. It's a
uh-huh.
son and father. They're actively, aggressively looking right now to find a property for a fix and flip. We found one that they loved. I mean, the bones are great. I mean, we're ready to go, offer fired up, and I'm reaching out to the seller's agent, and he, well, sorry, it's gone. I got a contract in that we accepted. So
Yeah.
keep in mind when you see something, just a tip, all right, because um, we're here to add value, right? So for all of our realtors who are just solely realtors, you have to think about these properties from an investment mindset, right?
Right.
Meaning that the moment you get the inclination that this is the property for your client, it would probably be in your best interest to go ahead and get that offer out there, and get that property locked up, get your due diligence going, because I mean, the type of the difference that 24 hours can make,
Yeah.
and that was our experience. We saw it one day, okay, let's go see it, and put it on showing time, and literally 10 a.m. that next morning.
I think that one of and another tip right there, here is for mainly for real estate investors. Okay, the guys that are looking for these properties, or anybody that's just looking to invest. But obviously, the guys that are renovating properties, fixing, flipping properties, those guys have a little bit more experience, and they know that they need to get there fast. But this has been the same thing since I got into this back in 2011, okay, 2010, 2010. It was whoever got there first. It's the one that got it. You know what I mean? So you need to get there as soon as it shows up. You need to get there. Like I had friends that will go there within the first half hour that the listing showed up. Okay,
Yeah, yeah,
and we will like
yeah,
they will go do their numbers right away and like put their offers right away. A lot of people also do blind offers, right? They just
yeah.
put an offer, but some of the realtors out there don't like, right?
Yeah, yeah,
So
they'll put that in the listing. Please make sure you
right,
see the property because again, we want serious buyers from a realtor standpoint, right? We don't want
yeah.
someone to come in and lock up a property just to kick the can, so to speak,
Mhm.
right? So,
Yeah. Well,
no,
another thing is for brokers here. Since we're like you said, since we're adding value, so I would say a tip for brokers out there that are working with real estate investors. I would say when a good property comes up, okay, with a good property comes up in certain area that you're looking for one of your investors. It's like sometimes you call your investor say, hey, this came out right, or you send it out to them and they're not answering or something, and they say, well, I can't go today because I have this or I have that, right? Um, it's like go see it, right? The realtor should go and just go see it, go take some pictures, go shoot a video on it or something and send it out to them because obviously, it's in both benefit yours and the investor to buy that property, right? And if you can get there first and you can help them get their numbers, you know, uh, quicker by meaning the numbers, meaning that being able to show them some pictures, show them some videos, and say this is what's going on inside the property, then that's going to be a lot easier for them to make a decision right on the spot. And at the same time, it's not a sight unseen. At that point, you already seen the property. You know,
absolutely.
you. So as soon as it comes out, you need to make that appointment right away. Go see it. If your investor can go with you, just go because you know that if your guy is looking for something and that property is priced correctly, then now how do you have any ideas or tips on how maybe realtors can get ahead of that and maybe get first in line with um uh in front of, because obviously some of these realtors that put those listings right, and if they put it at the right price, um what happens is that they usually still wait, even though you got there first. They say,
Right,
well, I still gotta wait and give others the opportunity to look at it and blah blah blah, right?
right. Yep.
So I think that making the first impression of getting there first, getting the contract first, getting the pre-approval first, everything there,
Every,
right away, it will give that broker um, the impression that you know what you're doing, right? You know what you're doing. You know that you have a buyer that is ready to go. You know what I
yeah.
mean? Um, and but the other thing is that is the financing to back up, right? So one of the things is that um, a lot of the agents want cash offer, right? So how do we get your clients to get those offers the same as cash, right? Because now most of the realtors are aware of hard money, right? How hard money works and how private money works, right? Um, and I think that having those investors uh, get vetted and get approved before you even look for properties for them is very important because obviously uh, that's going to make your offer look a lot better, right? And
A lot better,
right,
Christian. That's a great point. Um, so, the thing to sum up everything that you're saying, we have to approach our business with the spirit of being proactive
right,
instead of being reactive. Meaning, you want to come with all due diligence in hand. Like, you want to do your homework, you want to know the specs on the property, you want to know how to do your comparable market analysis so you can give them their after repair value.
mhm,
You want to kind of have a little bit of an idea on their budget in terms of dollar per square footage. to give them a ballpark figure in terms of what their expectations are for renovations. So it all leads to education, to be quite honest with you. The average realtor has to take their career into their ownership, where you should constantly be looking to seek new knowledge and constantly look to find out how different nuances of a real estate deal go. Um, I initially met Christian, I would say back in 2015 when I first started out on my real estate investing career. And one of the things I noticed about Christian, because he was a fix and flip giant in the industry, and he would actually have us come to the property, go over all of the numbers, go over what pitfalls came, like complete transparency in these property tours. And I think that's something that we need to approach our clients with as realtors. We need to have all of the numbers in place. We need to have any potential pitfalls that we may or may not see based on our experience. And for the inexperienced, the only way that you can fill that void is through education. Meaning you have to learn how to think, because let's be honest, we go to real estate school and we learn how to pass a test, and then we become a realtor and we learn our profession, right? The classroom doesn't prepare you for the real world experience.
Right.
Same thing is true of real estate investing. There's a lot of different communities and groups that have theory-based education, hands-on based education, but the best experience is that experience in and of itself. And maybe partnering with someone who has a little bit more experience, like myself and Christian, to kind of walk your hand through the process, so we can help you avoid any potential pitfalls, so we can educate you on how processes, procedures, standard operation procedures, and best practices work in the industry. Because there's no two properties or deals that are alike. Would you agree, Christian?
Well, absolutely, absolutely, and speed is the name of the game, right? So you have to be able to um, act quick, and you can't wait for a contractor to come and give you a price. You can't wait for for you to have a little bit of time to go see that property. You have to be able to have a team with you that is going to be able to take different pieces of it and then put it all together into an offer right away, right?
Right.
So broker looking at the property, the lender looking at your numbers, and maybe a contractor or someone in your team that will look at pricing of renovation on that particular property, and be able to make a decision right away.
Make a decision right away. I agree, Christian. So from the lending perspective, right? In 2020, when the pandemic hit, man, we had money falling from the sky, right?
Right.
There's all types of opportunities out here for people to get funded for deals. Let's fast forward to now, April of 2022. What are you seeing in terms of interest rates, barriers of entry into getting into real estate deals on the funding side, Christian?
Well, the thing is, the interest rates are going to go back up and down as always, right? So we know the deal. We know we've been on real estate long enough to understand that interest rates don't stay still, right? So they go down to incentivize the market, and they go up to slow it down, right? But at the same time, um, and with investment properties, interest rates are always being kind of the same, right? So, and they're being steady. Now, since we've seen a lot of more investors going into the real and the rental market, then those guys usually look at interest rate a little bit more. But again, for the ones that are fix and flipping properties, I will give them a tip that I use all the time when I'm flipping a property, which is I don't even worry about the interest rate. What I worry is to make sure that the the purpose the loan is going to help me get what I want out of the deal, right? the numbers, the interest rate, these are short-term loans, Pierre, right? So we're not getting into a loan for a fix and flip for 30 years, right? So we're getting into it only for 6 months or a year, right? So at the end of the day, even though yes, it does make a difference on your monthly payment and everything like that, but at the end of the day, is it has to be it's another expense that we have to do business, right? So and I've seen a lot of investors, new investors out there shopping for interest rates on hard money when hard money they're all pretty much the same, right? At the end of the day, is are you going to get enough to get the deal done? Are you going to be able to get that deal? Do you have enough room in there to get that deal completed? Do you have enough equity to make money, right?
Right.
And at the end of the day, even if you shop around for the interest rate and then you didn't get that deal done on time, it's the same thing. You end up losing anyway. You know what
Right.
I mean? So doing fix and flips is all about speed. It doesn't really matter what the costs are because you're gonna put that into your numbers and you're gonna count those things in there and you're gonna make sure that after you pay all that stuff, you still make money, right? But uh, but the speed, the timeline is one of the most important things in there, right? So sitting on it, it doesn't matter what if you pay 10 or you pay 5% interest rate. Is if you sit on it too long, is we lose every day that we sit on
I
it.
burn you. Yeah.
Right. So so for that reason is that yes, the interest rates now are going up a little bit, right? And they're planning, Feds are planning to push it up a little bit more too. So we're, encouraging a lot of the rental owners right now to make sure that they get the lowest interest rate possible now before they go back up, right? So they can keep those earnings on those rental properties, right? So, but again, um, is there is enough investors out there looking for deals, and they're not even able to find enough, right, for them because of pricing, right? Obviously, there are some deals out there in the MLS, but pricing of the properties sometimes don't make it, accessible enough for them to fix it and still make money, right? So
Absolutely.
that's why today we decided, okay, with Pierre, let's show him another way to find deals offline, off the market, right, off the MLS, so they can maybe have another opportunity, another way of getting access
New
to the
way to approach real estate
right,
acquisitions,
right,
right?
absolutely. So
Great.
tell them a little bit about how you working now with your office and getting some of those deals off the market.
Okay, so for those of you that know me, you guys have probably watched my journey along Facebook and Instagram. On Facebook, you can follow me at Pierre A. Mason. On Instagram, you can follow me at Pierre.Mason. Twitter at Pierre Mason 5. And what I do is I'm intentionally journaling the processes. Okay. I actually just left a traditional brokerage where, things were a little bit kind of straight and narrow in terms of our approach to real estate.
Mhm.
And that kind of sparked something in me that actually made me get back in alignment with my true identity as a real estate investor. Because again, I met Christian in 2015 as a real estate investor. Okay. He was doing fix and flips. I was getting into the off market properties as a wholesaler to work my way up to fix and flips and rehabs. Fast forward to 2020, in Illinois, they changed the law stating that you had to become licensed
Right.
to do two or more assignments in Illinois. So, that actually led me down a path to become a licensed realtor. But at heart, I know who I am. I'm a real estate investor,
Right.
true and true, tried and true. And my license is just another tool in my tool belt. So my journey led me to Dior Realty Group We have 2 locations right now at 100 North LaSalle. Our second location is 327 East Persian in Bronzeville. And we're actually working on creating a state-of-the-art, phenomenal facility that's going to house a title company. It's going to house a real estate school, podcast company, real estate office, UPS store, the whole nine.
Yes.
So what type of real estate brokerage owns a title company, right?
Right.
Well, we're not your traditional real estate company.
Right.
Here at Dior Realty, we focus specifically on what's called tax certificates and tax deeds. All right. So what's a tax certificate? As you guys see, every month we have hundreds upon hundreds upon hundreds. This is just for the month of April. Okay. So a tax certificate, what is it? All right. Our taxes, property taxes. What do they do? How do they work? Well, property taxes help us pay for all of our expenses in the city of Chicago, schools, fixing the roads, you name it, right? So if a property owner doesn't actually pay their property taxes, an actual property tax buyer can go to the auction and pay those because the cops have to get paid, firefighters, etc. The beat goes on. So what happens on a real estate transaction is anybody who's been to real estate school, you remember that what takes first position over any other encumbrance or any other thing? Property taxes, right? So essentially, you can go in, pay those unpaid property taxes, and then take control over the property by gaining the deed. Or you can sell your certificate to someone on an open market for a profit as well. Okay, so tax certificates and tax deeds, 2 different animals. All right. So what does it look like here? Well, again, being that we are affiliated with a title company, okay, and an attorney's office at our downtown location, we actually have a ton of tax buyers that we solely represent who they deploy millions of dollars into the tax certificate sales every year. So what happens is, you have a 2.5-year redemption period in Cook County, okay, state of Illinois. And after they pass that redemption period, then it's fair game.
Just
Okay,
2 years, right?
2 years, yes, sir. So if you buy those taxes, and let's say a deal that me and Christian just completed, we saw a situation like that. A client Christian referred to me actually bought a 2-flat in Inglewood for $95,000. However, it was past the redemption period. Okay, so that prolonged the closing process, but we did make it to closing. At the closing table, I believe the certificate owner was paid like 40 something, 49,000, and the property owner who was selling it made 36, right? So how can the property tax owner make more than the actual the certificate owner make more than the property owner itself? It's because he forgot to pay his taxes and he owned that property free and clear. So someone came in and saw an opportunity. All right. So that's the type of properties that we have perpetually coming in my office, in my pipeline. We work exclusively with serious, experienced investors, primarily cash buyers. So a lot of these properties that we buy have a lot of meat on the bone. Okay, like I have a 6-unit in Riverdale for $90K. I have something on 118 for $25K. A 2-flat on 74th and Prairie for $50K. We just sold a certificate in LaGrange Park for $100K. 30 on the north side, we have a property for $175K. All right, and you're hearing these numbers, and you're probably like, how
Absolutely. And one of the things, I don't mean to get you off, but I wanted to, before I forget, I wanted to put something out there for people that want to look at these properties, people that want to have access to these. I think we're gonna create a Facebook group with Pierre. where we're going to be analyzing some of these properties. We're going to be looking at them and see if we can put, some numbers to that. And not only looking at the pricing and say, oh, okay, this is, how much is the purchase price, but, obviously some of them, they do need repairs and things like that. And then we're going to go a little bit more deeper into how we can, fund those deals, how we can get the cash to do it, right?
Absolutely. And keep in mind, guys, typically when there's a mortgage on a property, that lender is going to always pay the property taxes. So we're talking about the majority of these properties are free and clear.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
So
Very few liens.
once you take care of the tax certificate buyer and help them make a profit on what they put in on paying the back taxes, then everything else is pretty much gravy for you. All right.
Right.
So a lot of times, if you're a cash buyer, you're gonna have to be a cash buyer if you come in to buy anything that's 70 grand and below, right? Because most hard money lenders, that's kind of their threshold. So if you guys are partnering, you have cash partners that you want to come in, talk about how they can potentially buy a property cash and collateralize that for the rehab money, Christian.
Well, I mean, there is a couple of different ways, okay? In that, we use, uh, like you mentioned, on hard money, usually there is a threshold that we hit at 50,000, right? $50,000 is the minimum loan amount that is required for you to get financing under a hard money lender, right? So, and usually that includes the purchase and the renovation. So usually you go over that. But at the same time, these tax certificates, uh, those properties are not being transferred at closing. So there is nothing yet where the lender will be able to secure something to it, right?
Correct.
So what you got to understand is that obviously you're buying this property, you're buying the certificate, and then you're taking over the property, right?
Correct.
So it takes a little bit of time
30 days.
to go right to
30
get through the
days in
process,
most cases. Yes.
right? To go through that process, and once you go through that process and you finish taking over the possession of the property, then we can get some financing over that, and also do the financing for the renovation, and actually get some of the money that you put in the property cash out, right? So for the beginning, I talked to an investor today about one of those deals, right? And trying to get access to about $60,000 to be able to buy a certificate, uh, and have some a little extra cash for the process, right? And the ways that we go about it is going through unsecured lending, right? And or business credit, right? So which those are things that, I will give you access to money right away, liquid cash or credit, to be able to buy properties that are below the $50,000 level.
Okay. And what about for those investors who maybe have a few properties under their belt that they're holding? They finish these projects and it's just like, okay, I'm a little bit cash poor, but I do have these assets. What strategy do you think would be best for someone in that type of situation?
Well, I mean, obviously, if they have some equity on the property, I will let tell them to definitely get access to that equity and be able to buy more, because buying tax certificates is a whole different animal, and you will be able to get access to a lot more properties with a lot less money, right? Because, like you said, there is a lot of meat on those bones. So you have to be able to take that opportunity, and the only way is to being liquid, right? So if you are sitting on a lot of properties right now, but you are cash poor, like you said, Pierre, then you have to get access to that liquidity that you have on your property, if you have any, right? Otherwise, we will have to analyze and see if there is any other way that we can get you access to cash, right? Um, Uh, Plus, at the same time, for investors that have, I helped an investor recently that he was trying to buy mobile homes, right? Well, mobile homes also are very difficult to finance, right? So unless you're buying a full package, right? So, and the price was very low. So he was bidding on a lot of properties. The guy had over 30 properties on his portfolio, but mostly, very low rental properties, right? And at the same way, what you realize is that having these properties is that you're a business owner too, right? Where you're managing these properties is a business for you. Each of those properties is a different store, right? A different business for you. There is cash flowing into you. So we were able to use that cash flow from the properties as a business transaction, and we were able to get a business loan based on the cash flow that he was getting out of the properties, and that allows them to get some liquidity without touching the equity of the properties, um, and be able to go and get access to more properties. Now, usually when you talk about business loans, are sometimes business loans are short term, right? Business credit, that's the one that I like the most. That's revolving, right? That's the one that you use over and over and over. So I think that one will help grow the other, but you definitely have to tap into business credit and start growing that for for your real estate business.
Okay. And for those who, this is a what I would like to consider a high level conversation, right? Because a lot of time as real estate professionals, we throw a lot of acronyms and we throw a lot of verbiage out there that people are probably like, what are they talking
Mhm.
about? So
Yeah.
me, I like to keep it very short and simple. Okay, just like you have your personal credit, every person who has an entity, whether it be an LLC, S corp, they are able to tap into business credit. Okay,
Mhm.
and that's one thing that I also help people do, Christian. I help them actually structure their entities, structure their LLCs,
Yeah.
S corps, and we start building that company so we can builds business credit, because that's one myth that people, they think that, the minute I get my entity, I can just go out and get business credit without using my personal information as a guarantor. Okay, and
Mhm.
that's not the case. Business credit is something that has to be built if you want to actually have that business stand alone and go out and get funding just solely based on the EIN. However, can use your social security number if you have great impeccable, 700 club or better. A lot of lenders look at that and say, okay, he's a pretty solid person. They can sign as a guarantor, for that business. So business credit is a separate bucket of money that I really strongly suggest that we all look into in
Right.
terms of tapping into, because it can be a game changer, if you will.
Yeah. And again, one more thing based on that is that if you are um, interested on maybe getting some of these tax certificates or investing in real estate in this way, but then you're cash poor, like Pierre was saying earlier, but you have excellent credit. That's going to be your way in. And we're looking also for people out there that are looking to get started into these and looking to get started in investing in real estate, on these type of properties, on these type of certificates, that would like to maybe partner with us and get access to more. Um, just simply by having great credit, that will give us access to these type of properties. So definitely get in touch with me and Pierre, and let's talk about this and how we can get access to these properties. There's
Absolutely.
an abundance. Obviously, show them that list again, Pierre, so
God,
they can see that there is no uh,
this is April. There's
there
no shortage of inventory whatsoever. This is
is
just,
enough for everybody.
this is
Absolutely.
just April. Okay. Then we have May. We haven't even got May
Yeah,
here, you know, a bunch
that's
of
a thick list. Right.
June. Let's talk about June, you know. So,
And when
you
we
know,
talk about
so
the months, obviously, April, May, June, because those are the months that they supposed to be out by, right?
correct, right. So, for example, this one, um, it redeems 4/11/22, right? So what does that look like for my wholesalers? I can go to one of these properties, speak to the seller, let them know, hey, listen, you're about to lose this property anyway. Let
Mhm.
me offer you, I buy houses fast for cash. Let me
You know,
help you help yourself, right? And a lot of these properties are free and clear. So it's just thinking outside the box, right? And that's why I am aligned so closely with Christian, because this is one of the I like to I always give credit where credit's due. Christian has poured a lot of information into me in regards to my approach to real estate investing,
yeah,
hands on. And one of the things he taught me is that you have to find the person who have what you need, right? So we talking about structuring companies. Going back to my group, that's a father and son duo, right?
mhm,
The son has a great job with the railroad. The father's retired and he's sitting on a nice amount of cash. The son has the best credit. So what do? We make the son 85% owner of the LLC,
yeah,
make the father 15% owner. Father puts up the down payment money. We use the son's credit to leverage towards the money for the renovations. And now you split the proceeds 50-50 and do it again.
yeah,
Right?
right there. So, but that's right there is a quick view of how to structure a deal, right? The structuring a deal you is something that you do it before you even buy a deal,
Before
right?
you buy.
You look at those things and you gotta see how do I structure my company to be able to put myself on a good position to be able to buy property, right? And it's not just, oh, let's be partners 50-50 and let's no. You gotta be what can we bring into the table, how we can do it, and then from there structure a company to start buying property.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So all right, awesome. I mean, this is, it's been great. A lot of information, Pierre. And we're going to be doing these again in a few days. Probably on Thursday, we're going to be back again live trying to bring you more information about these deals um, and how to fund them. Okay, so definitely make sure that you reach out to us. Messages, you can message us on Facebook, on Instagram, anywhere you can find us. We'll put our information now. Once we finish this, we're going to put both of our information so you can get in touch with us. And at the same time, we're going to keep bringing this information to everyone. So as much as we can, we're going to go now probably into Clubhouse and talk a little bit more about this, right? And you can find Pierre also in Clubhouse. You can find me in there too. What's your address in Clubhouse, Pierre?
My address at Clubhouse is Pierre Mason.
Okay, and you can
Uh,
find me and as a Chicago investor. So, and we'll be there probably in a little bit more, and we're gonna talk a little bit more about these deals, right?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Hey guys, we want you guys to come along with this journey because um, success leaves clues, right? Again, that's how I actually met Christian. I was a part of a real estate investing community, but there was a small microscopic handful of people that were doing deals. And he was actually the guy really doing the deals. So, you want to get close to people that are doing what it is that you're setting out to do. And we're an open book. We look forward to partnering with you guys. Um, I'm a licensed realtor. He can go out and find the funding for you. So you have everything you need. We'll provide you with all of the resources from attorneys, inspectors, you name it. All right. So everybody who's ready to get in the game, get in contact with me. You can inbox me. You can email me at jpmsolutionsinc@gmail.com. Again, I'm at Pierre Mason on Instagram, Pierre.Mason, Pierre A. Mason on Facebook. So I look forward to speaking with you guys.
All right. Thank you, Pierre, again. And I'm going to put your information now on the screen so they can get in touch with you. Okay.
Awesome.
Thanks again.
All right. Thank you guys, and I appreciate your time. Have a good rest of your day.